In this video, we will show you how to replace your rear brakes, pads, and rotors on this Jeep Wrangler. You'll have this on each side of the vehicle located behind your rear wheels. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. The first thing you need to do is safely raise and support the rear of the vehicle so the wheels are off the ground. Continuing from there, we're going to remove all 5 of our 19mm lug nuts and then we can get the wheel off of here. Now that we have the wheel out of the way, let's pay close attention to our caliper. We need to carefully push back our caliper piston so we can remove the caliper from the area. To do this, I'm going to use a small prying device, make my way in between the outer pad and my caliper, and gently pry this. Now you could continue pressing this piston all the way in this way, or you can just go ahead and push it in a tiny bit like I am here. We'll continue on to removing this, and then we can push back the piston with a specialty tool. Continuing from there, we're going to pay attention to our 2 14mm caliper slider mounting bolts. There's one up here and one located just below it. When removing these, you may find that the caliper slider pin wants to spin on you. If that's the case, you could use some pliers, hold onto the slider pin itself, and then remove the mounting bolt. When doing so, be extremely careful not to cause any damage to your slider pin boots. Let's start removing the first mounting bolt. Once it's out, a quick inspection and start it back in just a couple threads, and then fully remove the second bolt. Once you have that off of there, the next thing we need to do is fully push in our caliper piston as far into the caliper as possible. Continuing from there, we're going to give a close inspection for any fluid. If you see any liquid making its way out of this dust seal, it's brake fluid and you have to replace the caliper. Start pressing this in. Quick confirmation, there's no fluid coming out of here. This looks fine. We're going to hang this aside, putting no pressure on our flex hose. You don't want to cause any damage. Let's remove each of our 2 brake pads. If they're stuck in place, you could use a small pry bar. The inboard pad does have a wear indicator. That's important to note for the installation process. With the pads out of the bracket, we can start removing the bracket from the area. This is held in place with 2 18mm headed mounting bolts. You know what to do. Fully remove the first one, quick inspection, and start it back in just a couple threads. Use my wrench and I'll tap on it with a rubber mallet if necessary. Remove your caliper bracket. A quick inspection and we'll set it aside. We will have to clean and lubricate this. Let's remove our brake rotor. Take hold of it and try pulling it away from the vehicle. If it's stuck in place, you might have to lightly tap on it with a hammer. When doing so, be extremely careful. You do not want to cause any damage to any of your lug studs or the brake rotor braking surface. Also, we're going to use one of our original lug nuts here, and you only need to really start it on a couple threads. That'll prevent the rotor from coming off when you do tap on this. If you find you still have a hard time removing the rotor, you're going to have to de-adjust the emergency brake shoe hardware. That can be done from along the backside of the backing plate here, approximately where that caliper was located. You should find a small rubber boot. We'll pry that out of place. A quick inspection, you will be reusing this. Continuing with our small prying device, I'm going to make my way right inside this port. Typically, the adjuster cog will be located up along the top of the port, so once we make our way in, we're going to locate that and then gently start turning this in one direction or the other, trying to get this brake rotor to loosen up. If it feels like things are getting tighter, you're adjusting in the wrong direction. Okay, that feels like it's ready to come off now. There it is, friend. With the rotor out of the way, the next thing that you need to do is inspect your parking brake shoes. If it looks like they're worn or they're damaged and flaking apart in some way, you definitely want to go ahead and replace them. These look fine, so let's continue on to cleaning the mating surface of our axle. To do this, essentially we're just trying to remove any miscellaneous debris so we have a clean mating surface. You can use a wire brush and some parts cleaner. That looks good. Let's continue on with some copper anti-seize along the mating surface here. Now we can install our brand new brake rotor. These rotors are coated, so we do not need to clean the mating surface. Continuing from here, it's a good idea to hold this rotor in place while you continue on so no miscellaneous debris falls in between the mating surface. I'm going to use a spacer and one of my original lug nuts here. We'll just temporarily hold this in place. Let's pay attention to our caliper bracket. We need to remove everything from it, clean, and re-lubricate. We'll start with our 2 slider pins. For the slider pins, you want to take hold of your slider pin mounting boot. While holding that towards the bracket, go ahead and take hold of the pin itself, give it a light twist, and separate it from the boot. Once you have it removed, go ahead and give it a quick wipe and a close inspection. We're making sure that it's not rotted and damaged in any way. While cleaning this, we need to pay attention to the smooth shafted area, but also all the way down where my thumb is located here. There's a small groove, that's where the boot sits. Make sure it's clean and free of any debris. We'll set this aside, repeat the process for the other one. Once again, we're holding the boot. We'll slide that right out of position. A quick inspection. Both of these slider pins are the same. You don't have to worry about mixing these up. Continuing on, we'll remove each of our 2 slider pin mounting boots. For those, hold the bracket, grab the boot, and give it a little tug, removing it from the bracket itself. Once you have it removed, we're going to use a rag, slide it right on through the center, removing any of the miscellaneous grease or debris that might be in this area. We'll just roll this around on here. A quick inspection, making sure it's soft and pliable, not torn, worn, or damaged. Assuming that looks good, go ahead and set it aside, repeat the process. That boot looks good as well. Now let's focus on just that bracket. On the bracket, you're going to find you have 2 caliper bracket tins. We're going to remove and replace these with brand new ones that came in our brake pad kit. Continuing on from here, we're going to put this over a collection receptacle so we can continue cleaning it. Now let's start cleaning the bracket itself. We'll start with the 4 areas that we removed the tins from, 2 on each side of the bracket. For this, you can use a wire brush, or if you do use some sort of sanding disc, you want to be very careful not to remove too much material from the bracket, otherwise you're going to have brake pad noise. I'll use a cloth disc here. All right, that side looks good. Let's repeat the process on the other side of the bracket. Now let's pay attention to our two caliper slider mounting ports. We need to clean these. For this, I'm just going to use some parts cleaner and a bore brush inside of each of these, give them a quick rinse, and confirm they're properly cleaned. A quick inspection inside those ports, make sure there's no debris. Once you've done that, we also need to focus along the outside of each one of those ports. Now in this area, you can see another lip. This is where that boot will sit. It needs to be clean and free of any debris. At this point, this bracket looks nice and clean. We'll continue on the bench itself. Now that we have this clean, let's continue on with the installation. For this, we want to add a tiny bit of high temperature caliper lubricant to each of the 4 areas on the caliper brackets we removed the tins from, 2 on each side. You don't need very much. Little dab here, here, over there, right there. Now we'll pay attention to our brand new caliper bracket tins. Now if you were to look at this, along the back side you'll have one small ear and then a larger locking ear. And as I turn this over towards the next side, you can see we have a small little hook area here and then a flat area. The flat area would be what would be considered the bottom side of the bracket. And as far as the large hooked area on the back side, we want to make sure we have that facing out and away from the rotor, never towards the rotor because you're going to have a noise. We'll install this, starting right along here, pressing it into position. Once you have it on there, just give it a quick wiggle, make sure it's properly secured, continue on along the next areas. After that, we'll continue on with that high temperature lubricant inside of each of our 2 caliper slider ports and along the very edge of it where that small groove is. Reinstall your caliper slider mounting boots. These just press right onto the bracket into the groove, make sure they're secured. Now we'll continue on with that high temperature caliper lubricant. We're going to lubricate the entire smooth shafted area of the slider pin and all the way up into the groove where my fingers are. We'll press this in. Give it a couple spins here, working in the lubricant, and a light tug, making sure it's secured. Repeat the process. Let's get this over to the vehicle. Before we install our caliper and bracket, let's make the adjustment for our parking brake shoes. We'll do that just through here. When doing this, you just want to have a tiny bit of resistance here, not very much because that'll cause drag and it can cause issues. That sounds good. After making your adjustment, reinstall your protective boot. Just slide it right in there. Let's install our caliper bracket. Start in each of your 2 caliper bracket mounting bolts. Snug them up. The torque for these is 77 foot-pounds. Got our torque wrench down here. Now for the upper mounting bolt, you may have to gently pry this out of the way so you can gain access. Now it's time for our brake pads. As you remember during the removal process, I mentioned that there's a wear indicator. We're making sure it's in the same exact positioning. It's on the inboard pad and it's on the lower position here. Once you feel as though you have it in there, give it a wiggle, make sure it's not stuck, and you don't have to hammer it in. Time for the outer pad. Same process. Now let's focus on the caliper itself. We want to add a little bit of high temperature lubricant to the caliper piston and the backside of each of these 2 ears. You don't need very much here. This will help with vibration dampening and noise reduction overall. When you go to install the caliper, pay attention to your flex hose. You do not want to have it so the flex hose is twisted. That can cause brake fluid restriction. It's right on here. Start on each of your 2 mounting bolts. We'll bottom these out. The torque for these is 26 foot-pounds. Once you have the wheel in place, go ahead and start on all 5 of your 19mm lug nuts. We'll bottom these out, get the wheel safely on the ground, and torque it to 122 foot-pounds. Now that we have the wheel on the ground, let's torque these in a crisscross manner. Torqued. Okay friend, we showed you the installation of one side of your rear brakes. The next thing you need to do is make your way over to the other side of the vehicle and repeat the process. Once you've completed that, you want to make sure you pump up your brake pedal till it's nice and firm, and then take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.